Hi, I'm Monica Perkowski, and my part of the project was the summary of the program evaluation, needs met by the program, and program description.
Hi, I'm Ashley DeCamp from Newbern High School Impact Team. My role in this project was to go through the article and identify the evaluation question, design, and findings.
My name is Megan Justice, and for this program evaluation project, I spent time working with the conclusions and the implications section of the paper. I also edited and compiled the final paper, and I also compiled and edited the video that you're currently watching with iMovie.
The summary of the program evaluation. According to Wallace, in the past decade, technology-based distance learning has grown, which has allowed an expansion of options academically for students to succeed. Most of these programs have been developed for college students, but recently they are now being developed for elementary, middle, and high school students. Such opportunities now are allowing students and parents to tailor their learning, enroll in courses that may not be available in their school, and have the flexibility and the opportunity to have customized coursework. Through this study, there was a discrepancy between elementary and older students, and Ashley will discuss this later on. All in all, even though there is little research on the effectiveness of distance learning for these students, there is potential for them. The needs met by the program. Posovac quotes that without understanding the needs, programs cannot be designed appropriately. That being said, two issues that Posovac addresses in the book, as well as Wallace in the study, are whose unmet needs are being studied and what are the available resources for these people. The elementary, middle, and high school students were enrolled in Johns Hopkins University Center for Talented Youth. From this group, the unmet needs were availability of courses, tailored learning, flexibility, and customized coursework. According to Wallace, tech-based learning has provided the anytime, anywhere learning. For instance, Wallace gave an example that a student in a rural area would be able to interact education as in a classroom with a virtual classroom. Posovac emphasizes that providing quality services is the only overall purpose of any program evaluation activity. These students, being gifted, need the rigor and higher coursework. Now, the program description. The overall purpose of this study was to examine the different dimensions for gifted students from different age groups. This study also had a special interest for elementary students because of the lack of research. There were 690 students, roughly half boys and half girls, where 94% of them reside in the U.S. There were 54 different courses, and all students had taken at least one. Within these courses, the interaction was done through email, interactive whiteboard, discussion forums, virtual classrooms, and telephone. Assignments and activities were frequently embedded to judge progress. Materials range from CD-ROM, audio files, online resources such as textbooks, workbooks, and videos. And once when the course is finished, the student and parent were asked to complete a survey. Now, from the survey, if they took two courses, they would only be served for one survey. And according to Posovac, the evaluation forms create an intermediate results throughout the study. Overall, the results by Wallace finalize a sum and do not point out the individual courses. And Ashley will go ahead and go over the results.
The purpose of this evaluation was to answer many questions about distance education and academically gifted students. The study was meant to examine students as a whole and as individual age groups. They were grouped by elementary, middle, and high school students based on their current age at the time of taking the CTY distance learning course. The evaluation was measuring the effectiveness of distance learning with gifted students of all ages, and if distance learning is a viable option for gifted students of all ages and in all school settings. This areas of particular interest were the reasons that gifted students enrolled in a particular course, how they evaluated their academic experience and instructors, how their parents evaluated the course's sustainability, and how the distance learning affected their interest in the area of study. At the conclusion of each course, the students were provided with a link to a course evaluation form. This evaluation form used the Likert scale, with 1 being very unsatisfied and 5 being very satisfied, to evaluate a variety of aspects of the program. Any forms that did not provide an adequate student ID or birth date were omitted from the data collection. The parents of the students were asked to fill out evaluation forms as well. Of the 690 student participants, 340 parent surveys were completed and submitted. The evaluators of the CTY distance learning program opted to use written surveys to gain student and parent feedback. No one-on-one interviews were conducted. Students were grouped into ages for the purpose of data collection throughout this evaluation. The students participating in the evaluation responded to a prompt referring to their distance learning class and their academic plan. The majority answer for elementary and middle school students was to use this as a prerequisite for other CTY courses. However, high school students' majority answer was to use this as credit or prerequisite, whether for another CTY course, a high school course, or possibly a college education course. All age groups reviewed their distance learning favorably, but small variations among age groups did exist. For instance, the elementary school students rated the instructors and their ability to ask questions higher than middle and high school students. However, the elementary school students did not rate the software as high as for ease and usability and sustainability as the middle and high school students did. So the question then became, was the software appropriate that was used for elementary school students, because they did not evaluate it as high as, say, a middle and high school student did. Overall, the students rated their distance learning experience as favorable. This finding was supported within the students' final grades. CTY programs do not award students letter grades, but 320 of the participants were awarded letter grades for the purpose of the study. They were converted to numeric grades, and the average was a 3.97, which averages out to about a low A-. At the conclusion of the program, 61% of participants indicated that they became more interested in the subject, while only 3.5% indicated they were less interested. The study found no significant difference among age groups for this finding.
Specifically, distance learning for gifted students provides a discussion of potential groups that would benefit from distance learning the most. For homeschool students, distance learning provides a means to introduce advanced studies in subjects outside the expertise of the student's parents or tutors. For schools without a great deal of access to resources, distance learning also acts as a means to enrich students' regular curriculum either after school or during the summer months. Students with conflicts in scheduling are also addressed in this article. For schools without the means to offer many different courses in many different disciplines because of funding and or location, distance learning offers those students the opportunity to gain exposure in those courses. Although favorable results appeared for students at all levels, elementary students' results are a main issue of focus in determining the overall implications of the study. Wallace states that younger gifted students can benefit from distance learning opportunities at least as much as older students, provided that their needs are taken into account. Wallace later argues that concerns like program design and usability, alongside the role of the remote instructor, are especially important for younger students, and that a lack of attention to these facets of distance learning could produce less than favorable results for the elementary population. Thankfully, Wallace's article wraps up with the study's so-called elephant in the room, the significance of purposeful, pedagogically appropriate course design. As one of the factors that directly impacts positive results obtained from this study, particularly effective results, or those that impact whether or not distance learning for gifted students as a field progresses, can only spawn out of courses that are designed effectively. While positive results can certainly be obtained using Wallace's model of using surveys and grade transcriptions and transpositions as primary evidence, proving that students benefit from distance learning courses must be evaluated using effective models of instruction. POSIVAC approved ways to make this study stronger would have been to pursue students' academic gains rather than general enjoyment and proposed suitability of a course to meeting students' needs, to conduct observations of students before, throughout the course of, and after the program, and to use answers to the three questions of did the participants improve, did the participants improve enough, and did the participants meet a criterion, alongside common assessment data. In a new field like distance learning for gifted students without a lot of information currently in existence, Wallace's study provides a great deal of insight into the proposed value of distance learning courses to the development of gifted learners at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. though a great deal more research is required to make this field particularly effective. Wallace's study provides the positive results necessary to act as a catalyst for a whole movement, or perhaps even an ideal shift in education.